A very good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the video lecture of Computer Applications with BlueJ. My dear students, this is your lecture number 27 and we are going to see your chapter number 2, that is library classes. About the chapter's introductory part and every other explanation we have already studied in the previous week. Yes, and regarding your exercise portion, some of the theoretical part we have also solved. Now, from this video, we are going to see your unsolved Java programs. Some of the programs we are going to see today, so that is why it is your part number 1. So let us jump on to our question number 1 that says, write a program in Java to input a character. Find and display the next 10th character in the ASCII table. Now, what you have to do over here is that you have to take an input. Okay, it should be of your character data type. Now, when we were learning about the chapter, I have told you we were having two ways of how you can take input of a character. Yes, the first way was by using input stream reader class, and the second way or the second method was by using your scanner class. Okay, so for the ease of our code, we are going to use this scanner class. If you want or if you are comfortable with, then you can go for the first one also. Okay, now see what we are going to do. Firstly, we need a character as an input. Okay, now we are going to fetch out its ASCII value. Because see, in the question, it has been asked that you have to display the next 10th character. Okay, so for finding out the next 10th character, you have to find out the ASCII value of the present character. Yes, now when you have found the ASCII value, then just increment this ASCII value by 10. You will be getting something as a numerical quantity, and then again you are going to convert it back into a character. Now let us say this was a character number 1 and this was a character number 2. So this was your character that is supposed to be displayed on the screen, and you are going to do it with the help of your system.out.println. Okay, now let us see how we are going to do it in the question, in the solution. See, the first line, import java.util. We know already it is a library class that is for scanner1. Okay, now public class question number 1. We have opened our class public static void main. Our main function also we have opened. Now the first line, scanner in equals to new scanner system.in. Now what we are doing in this line is we are making an object of your scanner class. Now why we are making an object of your scanner class? Now see, the object is in, obviously, as you know. We are making an object because we need to take an input. Yes, and scanner is used to take an input. So that is why the first step is what? The first step is to make an object of your scanner class. Now see the next line. System.out.print, enter a character. Now through this line you are going to ask that enter a character. Okay, see the third line, character ch. By this it is declaring a variable of your character data type. The name is ch. This ch is a variable. Yes, and now at the right hand side see in dot next. Firstly, don't see this char at 0, just see this in dot next. Now what this function is doing? It is fetching out only a single word. Yes, a single word it is going to take it out. And see this one now, dot char at 0. This function is used to take out only the character at 0th position. Remember, in the ninth class also we have done something like this. Now, let us take an example. Supposingly, you have entered some kind of input, like you have entered a table. Okay, not just a table, this word. table, you have entered it. Now this function in.next is going to take a word, so it has taken a complete table. But this is not valid for being a character na. That is why see this char at 0. It is going to fetch out only the character at 0th position. It means t it is going to take it out. And every other thing is going to be truncated off. So this t will be going to be stored in your ch. Okay, now see the next line. Char ch1. Again, it is going to declare a variable for holding your next 10th character. Yes, now see at the right hand side. Firstly, we are solving this ch plus 10. See, ch plus 10 we are going to solve firstly. Now, let us assume that you have entered ch equals to capital A. Yes, we already know what is the ASCII value of capital A, that is your 65. Yes, so now over here in this line, automatically when we are using this plus operator, this ch is not using capital A. Instead, it is using 65. Why? Because we are performing some kind of arithmetic operation on it. Yes, and when it senses some kind of arithmetic operation, then it automatically converts itself into the numerical quantity. Okay, so the appropriate ASCII value of CH was 65. So over here it is going to use 65 for the same. Now again C plus 10 we are going to do. It is going to give you 75. Yes, and now if you see this 75, it is again a numerical quantity. Now see, we are having this char also. If you remember the type conversion, where we have studied our explicit type conversion? So this is a kind of your explicit type conversion. Yes, now this numerical quantity is again going to be converted into a character. Now, in the ASCII table, you just search what is the appropriate character of this 75. You will find out it is capital K. Yes, so when it got converted into a character, it is going to be stored in your CH1. Yes, so now CH is going to store capital A and the next 10th character, that is capital K, is going to be stored in your CH1. And the same value that is stored in ch1 you are going to print it out on the screen. Okay, I hope question number 1 is clear to you. Now moving on to the question number 2. See, write a program in Java to input a character. Display next 5 characters. Now see my dear students, there is a slight difference between your question number 1 as well as your question number 2. Now see over here, again we have to take input as a character. As I have already told you, when you are taking character as an input, either you go for input stream reader class or you go for your scanner class. Okay, both the ways are correct. Now, whatever input you have taken, you have to display the next 5 characters. Okay, not next 5th character. See, in the previous one, we were supposed to print out only the 10th character. That is a single character present at your 10th position, we have printed it out. But now, over here we have to print it out what? Next 5 characters. So supposingly, if you have entered, let us say the CH is a character. Let us suppose you have entered capital B for now. And now it is going to display what? Your next 5 characters. So your output should be capital C, capital D, capital E, capital F, capital G. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next 5 characters it is going to be printed out. Okay, now you have to do this question number 2 by yourself. Now remember, you can use this kind of loops over here. Either you go for this for loop, while loop or do while loop. Depends on your feasibility. Okay, so you just try this question number 2 by yourself. Now see question number 3. Write a program in Java to generate all the alternate letters in the range of letters from capital A to capital Z. Now my dear students, when we are learning about these characters, then you please make a note that whether we are using this capital A or we are using a small a. You know the reason? Why? Because the range or the ASCII value for capital A is different and for small a is also different. For capital A, we know it is 65 and for small a, we know it is 97. Okay, so accordingly, these both are different. So that is why make a note on it. Okay, just focus on what case you are using. Now see, coming back to our question, write a program in Java to generate all the alternate letters in the range of letter from A to Z. Now, from A to Z, every alternate letter you are going to be printed out on the screen. Now, skip out B, you are going to print out C. Skip out D, E will be printed. Skip out F, G will be printed, and so on up till Z. So obviously you are going to use any kind of loop over here. Yes, and as an incrementing portion, you are not just incrementing the value by 1. Why? Because alternate letters we are going to print it out. So that is why every time we are doing what? Plus 2. Now see the code. See the first line, public class question number 3. This is our main function. Now the first line, that is your import java.util, we have not used over here. Why? Because over here we are not going to take any kind of input. In the question itself, it is very clear that you have to print every alternate letter from capital A to capital Z. So no need to take out any kind of input over here. Now see, for loop we have used over here. The value of I is going to start from 65. Why? Because capital A's ASCII value is 65. It is going to be less than equals to 90. Why? Because the value of capital Z is 90. That is why. And every time this I is going to be incremented by 2. Okay, so fine. We are done with our numerical quantities. And now somehow we have to convert it into the character. Then only we can get the alternate letters. So see over here in this line, in the for loop, char ch equals to char I. Whatever value I is holding, it is going to be converted into a character. Yes, so if it is 65, then the appropriate character is what? It is A. So in the next line, system.out.println ch, A is going to be printed out on the screen. Yes, for the next iteration, I will become 65 plus 2, that is your 67. Okay, again through this line, this I will be converted into appropriate character and the character of 67 is capital C. So after A, you will be getting capital C. Accordingly, 67 plus 2 will be giving you 69. 69 corresponds to your capital E. That is why capital E is going to be printed out. And this procedure will be followed up till your I less than equals to 90. Or you can say when we reach till Z, capital Z. Okay, so this is how you are going to print every alternate letter. Yes, I hope the code is clear. Now moving forward to your question number 4. Now see what is the question number 4. Write a program to input a set of 20 letters. Now not just one, not just two, you are going to take an input of 20 letters. So anyhow you will be using your loop. Yes, most efficiently let us use the for loop. Okay, the basic code I equals to 1, I less than equals to 20 and all these things. Now see what you have to do. Convert each letter into uppercase. In your for loop, you are going to receive a letter and then you are going to convert it into uppercase. Okay, we'll see afterwards how we are going to convert it out. Firstly, let us understand the question. Find and display the number of vowels and number of consonants present in the given letters. Now you know what are vowels and what are consonants. In English, we are having only 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, these are your vowels and remaining everything is your consonant. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to take 20 letters as an input. For every letter, we have to convert it into uppercase and then we have to check whether that letter is a vowel or it is a consonant. Okay, so now let us see our code, how we are going to solve it out. See, we are going to take input over here. That is why we have used java.util library package. Okay, now class question number 4, it is our class. Main function already we have started. Now, the first few lines are same for every question. Yes, scanner in equals to new scanner system.in. Over here we have made an object in of scanner class. So whenever we are going to take an input, you just have to use in for now. Okay, now see the next line. System.out.println enter 20 characters. Now it is going to ask you that enter 20 letters. Okay, now afterwards it has also declared two variables of integer data type. One C vowel to count the number of vowels, and the second one C cons to count the number of consonants. Okay, initially they are 0. Furthermore, we'll see how we are going to find it out. Okay, for taking an input of 20 letters, we are using this for loop starting from 1 till 20, and every time I plus plus we are going to do. Okay, now see, through this line char ch in dot next dot char at 0. In the previous question also I have explained you that how it is going to take an input. Yes, so this ch is receiving a letter. Yes, it is receiving a letter, or you can say preferably a character it is receiving. Yes, and now this see the second line char ch2 character dot to uppercase ch. If you have listened to the explanation of the chapter, then you might know it is a wrapper class function. Yes, this character dot to uppercase. Now what it is going to do? Whatever character you are going to put it over here in the bracket, it is going to give you the uppercase version of it. Okay, now see, if your value of ch was small a, then this function is giving you capital A. If this value of ch was already capital A, then again it is returning you the same value, that is capital A. If the character is question mark, it is not a character, it is not a letter, yet it is a character. Yes, so again it is going to give you what? Question mark. The same it is going to give you. Yes, but small case letter should be converted into uppercase letter. That is our concept. Yes, now we have converted into uppercase. Now we have to check whether it is a vowel or it is a consonant. Okay, so if condition we are going to apply, if your character 2 is equals to A or E or I or O or U. If any of the single condition is true, then it means what? Your letter is a vowel. So that is why we are using C vowel plus plus over here. Yes, now else if CH should be greater than equal to A and CH2 should be less than equals to Z. Now why we are using this condition? Why we are not just going for simple if else? Now my dear students, sometimes it may happen that you have asked to enter a letter and it has given you this asterisk sign. Okay, now CH value is what? It is asterisk sign. CH2 value is what? Again, it is not going to give you any kind of error. Again, you will be getting this asterisk sign. Yes, regarding this if condition, it will be false. And if you are using a simple if else, then this will be counted in your consonant. But that is not a consonant, that should be wrong. Yes, so that is why we are using this else if condition, in which we are checking out whether your character is greater than equal to capital A and it is less than equals to capital Z. It means it should contain in the range of capital A to capital Z. Then only it is a consonant. Okay, so after the execution, after the complete execution of this for loop, you will be getting how many number of vowels you have entered and how many number of consonants you have entered. Now we just have to print it out both the values on the screen. So see, system.out.println number of vowels C vowel, number of consonant C consonant. Only this much you have to do in this question. Okay, I hope the question is clear. Moving forward, see your fifth question. It says, write a program in Java to accept an integer number n Yes, an integer number it is going to take as an input, such that 0 less than n less than 27. Now n should be in the range of 1 to 26. Yes, because it is less than, it should be greater than 0 and it should be less than 27. It means what? N should be in the range of 1 to 26. Now what you have to do furthermore? Display the corresponding letter of the alphabet. Now whatever value your n contains, you have to print it out the corresponding letter of the alphabet. Okay, it means the letter at position n. Okay, the letter at position n you have to print it out on the screen. Now see, if n equals to 1, then display capital A. If n equals to 2, then display capital B, and accordingly. Okay, now see how we are going to do this question. Over here we are going to take an input, that is your n. So that is why we have used java.util class. Opened our class, question number 5. Now see, our main function. Every other code you are going to write down in the main function. Yes, now the first line, again it is your scanner for taking an input. SC is our object. Yes, it is asking you in the next line, system.out.print, enter an integer. It should be in the range of 1 to 26. Yes. Now, int n equals to sc.nextInt. You know the function nextInt. It is going to receive an integer value. Okay, and it is going to be stored in your small n. Now, we have to check whether your n is greater than 0 and your n is less than 27. Yes, it means what? Your number should be between 1 to 26. Now, if the condition is true, then these two statements will be executed. Yes. Now see, let us suppose you have entered a number that is between 1 to 26. Now what happens? See, this char ch equals to char n plus 64. Now why we are adding on 64? Because see, the minimum value that your n can hold is 1 and the maximum value that it can hold is 26. Yes, so the minimum value when it is holding 1, then it should display capital A. We know the ASCII value of capital A is 65. Yes, so if you are going to use this n plus 64, then it means what? 1 plus 64, then it is going to point it out to 65. Okay, so that is why we are taking the value 1 less than your capital A's value. Getting the point? Now see, if it happens, then it will be giving you n plus 64, and again the numerical quantity is again to be converted into your character data type, and you will be getting an appropriate character for the same. And the same ch character is going to be printed out over here. And if you have used some other value, it means not in the range from 1 to 26, then it will be executing this else position and it is giving you the appropriate message, that is, please enter the number in 1 to 26 range. Okay, now let us take certain examples so that we can understand the working of this question very appropriately. Okay, we are having this n over here. Now, supposingly, let us say we have entered the value of n as 10. Okay, it is satisfying the condition that n should be between 1 to 26. Yes, so these two will be solved out. Now see, firstly n plus 64. It is going to give you 10 plus 64. It is 74. Now if you see in your ASCII table, then 74 is a value that corresponds to your capital J. Okay, so this 74 is going to be giving you. Now from this one, from this char, it is going to be converted into the appropriate character, that is your capital J, and this capital J is going to be stored in your ch. Okay, so this ch is your corresponding letter of this 10. It means the 10th letter in English alphabet is your capital J, and accordingly you can choose any value for the same. Okay, now supposingly if you are having n equals to, let us take 50 you have taken. So this if will not get executed because you are not in the range of 1 to 26. Yes, so it will execute your else part and you will be getting, please enter the number in 1 to 26 range. Okay, so this is how your question number 4 is, sorry, Question number 5 is going to be working out. Now see the next question. That is your question number 6. Now what you have to do in this question is write a program to input two characters. See my dear students, up till now we are receiving one character at a time. Yes, now we have to take two characters simultaneously from the keyboard. So we are going to need two character values. Yes, two character variables we are going to need. Now furthermore, find the difference between their ASCII code. Display the following message. Yes, we have to find out the difference between the ASCII codes of both the characters, and if the difference is 0, it means both the characters are same. If difference is less than 0, first is smaller and accordingly. So over here it is very clear that we are going to use this if else if condition. Yes, and previously also we have to apply some formulas. Now in your book one kind of sample input it is being given. Yes, now let us see sample input. For entering two characters you are having what? D and P. Now let us say first character is your D and the second character is your P. Okay, now fetch out the ASCII value, the difference you are going to take. Now see over here, the difference 68 minus 80. Why? The ASCII value of capital D is 68 and the ASCII value of capital P is 80. Yes, so the difference that you are going to get is what? 68 minus 80, and that is minus 12. Yes, minus 12 corresponds to this one, second category. Yes, so you will be getting this message. First character is smaller. Only this much you have to do. Now see the solution part. So over here, the first line java.util library package for your scanner class. Yes, opened our class, opened our main function. First line is to take an input to make an object. Our SC is an object for now. Yes, now we have to take two characters as an input. So see, enter the first character. In CH1 we have stored our first character, and in CH2 we have stored our next character. Yes, so now we are going to find out the difference between those two. Now see over here this line. This line is very important. Int D. D is going to store your difference. Now see this one, int ch1. If you are using this int before character 1, before ch1, then it is going to be giving you the appropriate integer value of ch1, or you can say ASCII value of ch1. Okay, it is going to be int ch2 means what? It is going to give you the ASCII value of ch2, and you are going to find out the difference among these two. Yes, so the difference will be stored in D. Now this D will be checked that what condition amongst these three D is holding out. So see, if D is greater than 0, then second character is smaller. Yes, if D is less than 0, then first character is smaller, and if both are equal, or you can say in else position, both the characters are same. Okay, so I hope this code is also clear to you. So my dear students, let us solve these 6 questions for now, and regarding the other exercise portion I'll give you in the next video. Okay, so this much is for the next video. You please solve these questions by your own. Yes, in case of any doubt, you can let me know. Thank you so much.